What's good, y'all? I am re-recording the Mudsdale video. I got a lot of comments talking about how Sap Sipper would be a much more fitting ability, and frankly, I agree. I just didn't really think of it. Initially, I had Water Absorb as their secondary ability from Stamina, but I'm not gonna lie, I do also like Sap Sipper a lot more, especially because there are 3 Water Ground types with the Water Absorb type abilities: Dry Skin, Water Absorb, and Storm Drain. So I was like, you know what? Ground type that's immune to grass is actually pretty unique for this hack because a lot of the previous Pokemon, excuse me, that was gross. A lot of the previous Pokemon that had the ability Sap Sipper don't have it anymore because it's not a bad ability, but it can be situational in a lot of cases, and sometimes I want to give them a better one. But in this case, it's a very good ability to switch between with an infinite usability capsule, which you will have from the beginning of the game. If you're a new viewer, I don't want to alienate any new viewers, but I'm assuming the majority of people watching this will be returning. If you are new here, though, I highly recommend that you check out the link in the description. There is the same Google Sheet I'm sharing on screen, linked right down below, and you can check out all 600 plus move buffs and changes. So if you go to this Google Sheet, and normally you'd be at the top when you open it up, and you can look at all these different categories, and it'll take you to all of the vast move buffs and changes in the hack. Not only did I buff and change 600 of them, there are also 130 new ones. So yeah, definitely give that a look. But Mudsdale, Mudsdale's always been super great. It does have reliable recovery now in the form of Set Amend, which is a widespread reliable recovery move that most rock and ground types and other Pokemon get. I always click the wrong sheet. And that will essentially give Mudsdale 2/3 HP in the sand or 1/2 HP otherwise. So it's basically just, it's like slack off basically. It's a good healing move. Stamina is incredible. Obviously, it's always been great, especially now that you have this reliable recovery move and you have even more HP and more bulk, because in this hack, I also try to base HP more on the size of the Pokemon. You do have to keep in mind, though, that there are dozens of guaranteed crit rate moves in this hack. There's a full list of them on the Google Sheet. I'll even quickly flash it on screen. All of those moves will crit right through your stamina boost. So these are all the 50% crit rate moves. So with the Scope Lens, these will always crit, especially coming off of Ruthless Pokemon. These are very scary. And then these are even scarier. The most common one being First Impression, which is the earliest of most of them. A couple of them are pretty early on as well, like Pursuit, but the most important one is First Impression that will crit through your stamina boost. And all these others are also really widespread and strong. So yeah, just keep that in mind, that will crit through your stamina boost. But not every boss fight is going to have that on every single Pokemon. You can always, also not to mention, your natural bulk is good enough to live, for example, First Impressions, even though they hit through your stamina boost. So what you can do is you can click Set Amend on the turn they're supposed to First Impression, and then you can, I keep clicking the Gen 1 sheet, man. And then you can, come on, can I scroll back, please? It's lagging. And then you can not have to worry about First Impression on the second turn, of course, because it only works on the first turn. You can't use Protect on First Impression anymore, so the main counterplay is just healing it off, switching out, whatever, maybe. But yeah, that's important. Other than that, stamina is incredible. We all know how great it is. You have other setup moves like Bulk Up and Iron Defense if you want to do that, but like I was just explaining, setup is not as great anymore because of these crit moves. But Mudsdale, super tanky. Assault Vest is great for certain boss fights, just to tank hits. You can use like bulkier Parting Shot sets. Yawn is super useful. Superpower in Time for Nanu is really nice. That's 150 base power, drops your attack stat by -2. You have all types of other great coverage moves. You also get priority in the form of First Impression, which is, like I was just explaining, a very widespread TM in this hack that a lot of Pokemon learn. So that's nice for certain boss fights to, dispatch a faster offensive threat. In terms of coverage, you get Blaze Kick, Zen Headbutt, Play Rough, Rock Climb, Takedown, Close Combat, Superpower, Heavy Slam, Rock Slide, Low Kick, stuff like that. You can check out the new effects for a lot of these moves in the description below. Most of them are like the similar effects, just with buffed base power, buffed accuracy, that kind of thing, and significantly so, like Play Rough, Rock Climb, Takedown are equal moves and all that stuff. So honestly, this is a very simple video. Make sure you give that Google Sheet a look, though. As for the logic of Sap Sipper, I mean, it's literally just the same as any other herbivorous, equine type Pokemon. I'm pretty sure Sap Sipper in Japanese is herbivore, so that's why all these all these like deer or horse type Pokemon get Sap Sipper normally. I have been giving it to more Pokemon besides herbivore Pokemon. Like if I think the English name fits them, like sipping sap, like literally, like it's hard to explain, but what's one that I can think of? Like Gorbis, for example, like that's a weird one, but It does eat seaweed and stuff, so I figured it's pretty cool. But yeah, Mudsdale Sap Sipper, very fitting. Fits more than Water Absorb. It's also a lot more unique. You could even try to argue it is a little bit better because it gives you an attack boost. However, the HP recovery from Water Absorb is also super useful. So a cool thing you could do though is like switch in on a grass type, get the Sap Sipper boost, and then click First Impression at +1 attack. That's a really cool thing you can do. Of course, that goes for any of the Pokemon that are going to be using grass type attacks, not just grass types, but grass types specifically because, you know, Bug is super effective on them. But yeah, very simple buffs and changes overall for Mudsdale. I'm sure if you watch the original video, you probably don't even have to listen to the whole thing or even listen to it at all. It's mostly just for the new viewers. I wanted to explain it again. But yeah, bulkier, slightly stronger, very straightforward. I appreciate you listening this far into the video. If you did already watch the old one, shout out to you. I appreciate it a lot. And I'll be back for more coming up. Last thing I can say, Rage plus Stamina is super cool. Rage plus Stamina will give you +1 attack and defense each turn, as long as you got attacked, of course. So that's really cool with Sediment, and you can kind of, you know, go from there. But yeah, peace everyone.